talking live at sold out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They lost the Super Bowl because they suck. The Philadelphia Eagles have always sucked, and the Philadelphia Eagles will always suck. The Philadelphia Eagles suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw it in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box. I give it 5-10 minutes or so. So if I see something in there, as soon as I see it, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. Plus, instead of me just like freaking rambling on for like 30 minutes straight or whatever, or longer, right? It's nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link, okay, takes you to my membership page, all right? I got 3 different membership levels. First one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would help me out so much, and it means so much to me, and I thank you in advance. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Once again, I can use all the support I can get. But if you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put out a video, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But as I said, if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Okay, and then finally, also in the description box below, there's oh, there goes my dog. Usually as soon as I start talking, he's across the room over there. As soon as I start talking, Brandy wants to come in. Oh, all right, buddy. You good? All right. These two freaking much. Well, I said, in the description box below, the top Facebook link, okay, there's 2 of them, takes you to my Facebook. It's a group, okay? It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a group. And I say this in every video. Basically, my Facebook page, which I'm going to go over in a minute, the Facebook group, and my YouTube channel, it's all called the same thing. That way, a moron like me, I can remember. It's all called like the New York Giants, the Gridiron. Okay. What's the group called? What's the page called? It's all called the same thing. All right. What do we have? We have about 3,200 members in the group. Okay. Basically, what it is, as soon as I'm done going live here, I'll go. Spend probably like the next 2 hours or so, and sometimes even more, putting stuff in the group and in the page. I said, which I'll go over in a second here. It's 24, well, not 24/7, but it's 7 days a week, 365 days, pretty much a year. Putting stuff in here all the time. And if you become a member of the group, not only do I put stuff in here, okay, but the members put stuff in here as well too. I try to get, if I can, sometimes in the off season, it's a little difficult to get stuff when there's like nothing going on. But if I can, I try to get up to 10 things a day in here. Sometimes when the regular season's going on, there's even more. Sometimes I get 10 to 15 things going in here every day, whether it's a post, a picture, a video, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys. That's my personal favorites right there. Okay. I get it in here, but and not only me, but then the members put stuff in here as well. So there's a ton of New York Giants information going in there every day. And then the second Facebook link takes you to my page. Okay. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. Very original, I know, but it's a page. So I'm the administrator. I'm the only one to post anything in here. Okay. But it's the same thing. I try to get a ton of stuff in here every day. Right. We're getting close, right? We just went over 1,300 likes. I believe it was yesterday. And today we're all over 4,900 followers. We're getting close to 5,000 followers. We're getting close. I tell you, the page is really doing good. I tell you, this baby's taking off. But it's the same thing. I said, 7 days a week. I spend a couple hours at least every day putting stuff in here. And so once I'm done talking, I'm going to spend some time putting some stuff in here. As I said, it's the same thing. I try to get up 10 things a day, a post, a picture, videos, whatever, all kinds of stuff. Okay. And I don't commingle for the most part. Meaning whatever I put in the page, I don't put in the group. Whatever I put in the group, I don't put in the page. For the most part, if I find something really juicy about making fun of the Eagles, I might just want to spread the love, share the love with everybody. So I might put it in the page in the group. But for the most part, I try to keep stuff separate, right? So I say, so if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it, and you go to the group and you become a member, you get a ton of New York Giants information every day. And like I say in every video, okay, if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and you become a member, if you're not 100% satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right. All right. With all that stuff said and done and out of the way with, let's see here. They got the legacy games. Okay. They're set, right? I just noticed, like, I don't know, about half an hour ago that they came out with the dates. I don't know if they came out with them earlier today and I just overlooked it, didn't see it, but I just noticed it. Like a couple articles came out. Looked like they were like, I was looking at it, like, an article came out like 14 minutes before I was reading. I'm like, that they got the legacy games. What's up, Benny G, man? The Eagles are 0-16 because they suck. That's right. And they'll always suck. That just rolls right off the tongue. I love that. I love it. They suck. I'll tell you what, guys. Living down here in Philadelphia, I'm about 20 minutes from Philadelphia. There was nobody happier. I was happier the Eagles lost than the Kansas City Chiefs were for winning the Super Bowl. I was happy. I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, they're holding the trophy up. They were happy now. I was happier. Let me tell you. Okay. That's how much I can't just, man, I can't wait for the day to come when the tables are turned and we're beating them twice a year. It's been a long time coming. I can't wait. But with the legacy games, they got, let's see. Now, last year, we did good because we managed not to lose any of the legacy games. There were two tough games. I mean, every game is tough. I mean, for the most part. I mean, you'll get thankfully last year we actually had a blowout, which, I mean, I don't know, when was the last time we had a blowout? We blew the Colts out 38-10. I mean, other than that, when was the last time we beat some? I didn't even bother looking on this one. When was the last time we beat somebody by 28 points, 30 points? Right. So, I mean, so for, I mean, you maybe get a blowout, but then we got blown out by the Eagles in the playoffs. Actually, we got blown out twice by the Eagles. Right. But I mean, so a lot of tough, close games for the most part. Every game is going to be tough and close. And also we managed, we beat the Bears. Cool. The legacy game last year. Right. And the Commanders, we almost won it. Graham, I mean, it was like a 58-yard field goal. So that was a tough one. That's probably just a little out of his range. If it was a 55-yarder, he might have just made it, but at least we didn't lose it. Okay. But so apparently we got, they got October 27th, once again, against the Commanders. Okay. I don't know. We're going to keep playing it legacy games against the Commanders every year, or are we going to play legacy games against the Commanders until we beat them one of these years? I don't know. But then we're playing December 11th against Green Bay on Monday Night Football, the legacy. Very, very good. Now you'll notice, okay, I mean, we're not playing, it's not a legacy game against the Eagles, right? So it's not a legacy game against the Cowboy. I mean, so we're playing legacy games and games that we should at least have a very good chance of winning. Okay. Now, I'm not saying, hopefully we beat the Cowboys and all that stuff, but maybe when we have a legacy game against the Eagles, that's when, we're on par with them. Right. But so we got another 2 winnable games, legacy games this season, because let's face it, I mean, don't know what you're going to get with the Packers with no Aaron Rodgers there. Okay. So the Commanders, as we said, there's an article I saw about the NFC East, the report cards. And I got to agree with, I mean, the Commanders Ron Rivera, I mean, I think it's his 4th season. Good coach. I love him. good, solid coach and all and everything, but they got to get themselves a quarterback. I mean, I don't know how far they're going to go with it, but more on that in a little bit. But so we got 2 winnable games, legacy games. A lot of people love that, love the design and all that stuff and everything. Obviously, of course, brings up, back from the 80s and all when the Giants won the Super Bowl, 86 and 90, right? So it should be 2 good games. Then we got, I just want to go over this real fast. It was an interesting kind of thing I saw about, it was an agent, was talking about, was it Joel Corey? Looks like a former agent, said that sports agent said it was unusual for them to pull Saquon's deal off the table. It said with Saquon Barkley and his representatives having turned down the offer for the Giants, an average of $12.5 million or more, the Giants placed a franchise tag on him, and took their contract off the table. Former sports agent and current CBS Sports cap analyst Joel Corey, I believe it is, I hope I pronounce his name, Corry, told Valentine's Views podcast that he was surprised by the move from general manager Joe Schoen. He says, usually you table the discussions, but the offer remains. So maybe we get, you tell them, hey, Saquon, the agent, or obviously you keep in touch with Saquon too. Look, Saquon, we got the draft coming up, we got free agency, we got this, your offer's on the table. I understand, you don't want it right now, whatever, we're going to table the talks, because we got to get through this free agency and the draft and the undrafted free agents and all that. Now, once we get that, we're going to come back and we're going to start talking again, But apparently he said, they obviously taken everything off the table. And what the guy says is usually you table this guy and the offer remains. Pulling the offer raises eyebrows to me, Corey said. He said that's an unusual step. Maybe that's how Schoen is going to do things in the future. But that would send a message to me if I'm the player, and that is going to be a truly tough negotiation. When the Giants do make another offer to Barkley sometime before the July 17th deadline to reach a long-term deal, what will it look like? We recently discussed the idea of whether the Giants' next offer could actually be for less than the previous proposal, something like 3 years, $30 million, with incentives to push the value higher. Corey wasted no time shooting down such an idea, and I got to agree with this one. Absolutely. Absolutely not. They're going to go around 13 million to 14 with incentives. And then for some reason, they're going to bring it down to 3 years, 30, then bring it down to 10 million. Absolutely not. My God. Corey said, no, not getting, he said, that's not getting done. Corey said, without even letting me finish the sentence, not getting done. 2 franchise tags is $22 million. So basically, the Giants want to franchise tag him this year and franchise tag him again next year. That would be, next year's franchise tag would be over $12 million. So this year's 10, next year's would be 12. That's if they're going to, you don't even know, because they might need the franchise tag for next season. And this is, of course, if they can't get a deal done, right? But they might need the franchise tag for next season. So, but you got to give the guy a way to save face in a negotiation. You're not giving him a chance to save face if you just pull it off the table, and and you just give him something low. And we're not talking freaking Chuck E. Cheese here, We're talking Saquon Barkley. We're talking people come to the game to see Saquon Barkley, The guy's been a model, person for this organization, absolute model for the team, the face of the team and all that. You pay to see Saquon play, You do not disrespect him like that. Absolutely freaking not. I mean, to go to give him something 13 million up to 14 million with incentives, and then you bring it down to like 10 million. No, absolutely not. And so I'm saying, I believe I totally agree with him, right? This guy here, Corey. He said he has to. You have to. You can't. That's a total slap in the face to Saquon. And obviously, everybody on the team knows what's going on. Okay, and if you disrespect Saquon, you might as well just slap the freaking face of every player in it. I mean, you're slapping Sexy Dexy's face. You're slapping, Leonard, Andrew Time. I mean, you're showing them what you think. I mean, that's total freaking disrespect for Saquon Barkley. Absolutely not. You got to give him something damn close to what you gave him, 13 million plus or whatever, something. If you slide another, if Shane wants to, if Shane wants to start an uprise or something, you offer him 3 years for $30 million. Let me tell you what, that would be a horrible mistake. Let's say you got to give Saquon a chance to save face with all the information that's out there on where the offers are and how the public opinion is he made a mistake in turning it down. That's going to be detrimental to the process. I don't think you get a deal done at 30 over 3. I think that would be a huge mistake. Now it's that, if Barkley does end up playing on the franchise tag, it's $10.091 million. The door is open for the Giants to use the franchise tag again in 2024 at a cost of roughly $12.1 million. Okay. So thus, if Barkley were to simply ride out the franchise tags, he would make a shade over $22 million for 2 seasons. Okay. Which means that there has to be more guaranteed money than that at any long-term deal. Okay. So, if you're talking, 3 years, 30 million, you can't offer him 15 million guaranteed, or 60% would be like 18 million guaranteed. You can't do that. So basically what this guy is saying, his agent, has to be more guaranteed money than 22 million. Okay. Now it says, with that in mind, Corey says that if the Giants truly want a long-term agreement with Barkley, they can't lowball him at this point. No, you've got a huge problem if you do that, because whatever you offered him in November, when he was priority over Daniel Jones, if you can't get back to that point, I suspect he's playing on the franchise tag, Corey said. If you have any offer that is less than the value of the 2 franchise tags over the first 2 years, he's going to take his chances on the franchise tags. So, I wasn't exactly sure, what he said to pull it, would be odd. Oh, Ronnie, hey, Vinny G man, what's going on? Man, I'm missing all. I'm talking, I'm missing all this stuff here. Eagles suck. Hey, what's up? Hey, Ronnie. Happy late Mother's Day. What do you think about JPP? I hear the rumors. I mean, I'm sure we can get him on the cheap. They're going to get a deal done, you think? I mean, that would be nice. I mean, I'm sure he'd love to come back. We really could use some reinforcements on the edge, without question. Now that would be, if you can get your third guy, that would be huge. And, and the nice thing with JPP, because me too, it should have been exciting season, been working like crazy. Sorry to hear that, Ronnie. You got to work. Me too. I'm on vacation, loving it. Good. You're on vacation. Good. I took a day off. Needed a break. But I mean, they need, and the thing is, when did we draft him? 2011, I think it was, or 2010, JPP. So he's no spring chicken, right? But when he came out, he wasn't that old either. I love when my boss goes on vacation and I'm off. Oh my God. But so JPP, to have him come in and be like a rotational and put him on the field 20 snaps or so a game, that's cool. And I'm sure you can get him for real cheap, right? And I'm sure he wouldn't mind coming back here at all, right? I mean, especially because let's not forget, okay, he would be perfect. Yeah. So let's not forget. Okay. Gettleman was the one, I believe, right? Well, I think when we let him go, it wasn't right. It wasn't, I think Gettleman was, so, I mean, Gettleman's kind of like, I don't think it wasn't Reese. I think it was Gettleman was here, I believe. So there's been a lot of, kind of, I mean, like with Odell Beckham, I mean, him and Gettleman, I'm sure they did, so I mean, now that Gettleman's gone, I'm sure JPP probably maybe wouldn't mind finishing his career here, right? Helping the team get to the playoffs once again, right? I said, I'm sure he's not going to be very expensive, right? But I mean, he could be absolutely perfect. He could be, especially because I mean, well, Kayvon, he missed a few games, but a lot of it was because that he got that block against the Bengals, I think it was, right, in preseason. But I mean, the way Azeez just can't seem to stay healthy last season, okay, he will be cheap. Yeah. Oh, there's Terrence. JPP's number should be retired. Oh, his number should be retired. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure he'll be cheap. I've heard. You hear all these rumors. Was it Dalton Reisner? I mean, like I did in my video. I think it was last night. I did a video with Dalton Reisner, being linked to the Giants, a guard. Like five, and they all said in the article, like 1 year, $5 million. It's kind of like, we drafted a Zudu. Right. I mean, you draft the Zudo in the third round. You don't draft the guard in the third round to be some just quality depth. You draft the dude. Okay. And we got Bredesen too. Okay. We got Glowinski for a year. We had McKeithen. I don't know if he's ever going to be a starter. If he is, cool. But we got a lot of guys. I don't know what his, Dalton Reisner is being linked to the Giants, the guard. I mean, for like 1 year's $5 million. I'm saying, what are we going to? We got like 15 offensive linemen. What are we going to do with another guy? Let's see. Right, JPP should come back, and I still have his jersey. Oh, you do? Yeah. Oh, wow. Imagine if he never blew his hand. I mean, it's a shame. I don't want. It certainly don't ever want to make a joke about anything, but stuff's dangerous. I mean, if you're lighting it, you don't hold it in your hand. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't. For all I know, once again, for all I know, he could have been, maybe his kid could have had, or something could have had in his hand, and he grabbed it out of their hand or something, whatever. You know what I mean? So it could have been something like that. But I mean, my God, you got to be, But I'm saying, thankfully, he's still able to play football. Imagine if it blew his hand off, right? I mean, imagine if it blew almost all of his fingers off. He had a stub. I mean, how's he going to, So he got lucky. Right? He would have been amazing. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was 2011. I think he had like the 16 and a half sacks. I mean, he was special. Gridiron, even JPP gets 5 sacks as a back. Oh, yeah. 5. Oh, that would be huge. I mean, I'm saying we only had, what do we have? I mean, as I said, you figure between Kayvon got 4, I think, last year, but Azeez got like 5.5. So I mean, between our 2 star edge rushers, we didn't even have 10 sacks between the 2 of them. I mean, but I was talking about, I think it was last night. I think it was in the video. What was it? The video before that? Whatever. If you go over what Azeez had, I mean, he had like, what the hell was it? He had like 5 sacks or 5.5 and like 155 pass rushes. So that basically means 1 out of every 30 times he rushed the passer, he got a sack last year. I mean, that's basically 1 a game. I mean, sometimes the teams, I mean, like against the Eagles, when the Eagles last year were churning out hundreds of yards rushing against us, Jalen Hurts don't have to go back there and throw the football, right? I mean, maybe when he needs to, but if you turn around and hand the ball up to Sanders or Scott, right, who gets 85 touchdowns a game against us, right? But if they're churning up 10 yards a carry, what are you going to throw the football for, right? But I'm saying, I mean, sometimes, so the Eagles might throw 20, 25 times against us, but other teams might throw 35 or 40. But I'm saying, Azeez, 1 out of every 30 times he rushed the passer, he got a sack last year. I mean, that's like 1 a game. I mean, right? Now, Kayvon, love the guy to death. Maybe this year they'll start. Maybe I'll see the refs start doing this when next time when Kayvon's kind of coming around the edge and the tackles kind of got him around the neck. See, they do that when Micah Parsons rushes the court. Oh my God, it's Micah Parsons. That's a hold. Oh my God, that's a 50-yard penalty because it's on Micah Parsons. But when Kayvon and the tackles got him like this, I don't see nothing. That's a good block. So maybe Kayvon will start getting some calls like that this year. Who knows, right? But I mean, he had 4 sacks last year. One of them was the one that basically won us the Commander game. But then again, nobody blocked him. I don't know why you'd have a call protection when you got Kayvon over there, and let's not block him. Let's see what he does. Oh my God, yes. Azeez is such a beast. Yeah, at least I know the thing is, I mean, if you looked at him like last year, he was like shot out of a cannon. Like it could also be sometimes because he missed large chunks of games, so he was well rested and all and everything. But man, you looked at sometimes. I mean, when he would like come into the game, I know he missed like 8 or 9 games in a row last year, and then he came back for a few games, but then he got dinged up again, and then toward the end of the season, and when he was in there, he was only in there for like 10 snaps on a couple of the games because he was still hurt. But man, a couple of those games when he was fresh, and you just see him in there and just, oh man, he was flying. Man, he was so good. He was so good. As I said, if he can just stay healthy, that would be, as I said, with JP, that would be awesome. That would really be awesome. But the nice thing is we do have some money. If we can ever get anything done with Saquon, right? I think we have, like with Spot Track, we have like a little over $5 million, but we still got to sign Michael Schmitz and we still got to sign Deonte Banks, right? So that's going to knock into the, obviously into the cap. But if we can get something done with Saquon, instead of getting that $10 million cap hit, okay, maybe we can knock it down, if we can sign him long-term to maybe about $5 million, save ourselves maybe another $5 million toward the cap. This is why, you definitely want to have, some extra money going into the season, right? I mean, because you got some free agents who are still out there. I'd like to see if possible. I mean, there's a couple other guys out there, too. But I mean, after everybody's got their 90-man roster and they start letting guys go, right? I mean, what? You're going to get out from, hold on. I got my calculator out here because I'm too stupid to figure this out here. All right, so you got 32 teams, 32 times. You got a 90-man roster when they let all their guys go down to 53. That's 37 guys. So you're going to have 1,184 guys going to be looking for a job, right? I think out of 1,184 guys, I'm sure you can find 1 or 2 guys that can help your team out. You know what I mean? So you can probably get them on the cheap. Let's see. I'm still so happy about JMS and the draft. Shows I am happy about. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, me too. Oh yeah. Bryce Wheaton too. Let's see. Let's hope he can maybe I'm pulling for him too. I mean, could you imagine? Got Bryce Wheaton, right? Slayton. Let's not forget Slayton ain't no slowpoke either, right? Paris Campbell. Let's not forget. I think Paris Campbell had the fastest play last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was he was over 22 miles an hour, I think, on one of his plays last year. I mean, he fast. Bryce Wheaton, fast. Waller's not so much like fast, but he's just a freaking mismatch. I mean, he's just tall and mismatch. I mean, could you imagine? I think I brought this up in one of my other videos. I mean, putting the Campbell in the slot, but like 4 guys, right? You put like Bryce Wheaton and Slayton over there. You put Campbell over here, and you got Hyatt, right? And then you got Waller, right? So you got nobody in the backfield, but you're sending 5 guys out, right? Sending those 5 guys, just run. Oh man, that's a lot of speed, And one thing is that the Giants last year, they did not throw a lot of deep balls last year. Now it was because of what they tried to do was scheme a lot of things, to help Daniel Jones cut down on the interceptions, right? Scheme a lot of the players open, short stuff. Daniel Jones was one of the through one of the got his passes, the targets were only like 6 or 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, which was one of the lowest in the whole league, right? Actually, if you go over this past couple of years, his first couple of years in the league, he was throwing, the targets were 7 or 8 yards downfield. So they really brought him. They kind of, I don't want to say babied him, but they brought him in, right? The targets in, scheme guys open, a lot of short passes, also quick passes. So the guy, so Daniel Jones isn't standing in the pocket for a long time where he's going to get annihilated, but they didn't stretch the field much. And that, everything's the theory of relativity. Everything's relative. If you got a good run game, that opens up the pass game. You got a good passing game, that opens up the run game. But if you got a good passing game that can, open up the whole field, that helps everything. I mean, if you're just dinking and dunking all the way down the field, it's tough. It's tough to get 13, 14, 15 play drives marching down the field to get touchdowns. Luckily, last year we were very good in the red zone, but it's tough, very tough. I mean, I forgot what the stat is. It's like it goes up. I forgot exactly what it was, but the percentage, if you get it's either a pass play or a play of over 20 or 25 yards, your chances of scoring a touchdown go up like astronomical. And the Giants didn't have it. We didn't have many big plays last year. We had Saquon had a couple of nice runs. I mean, we had a couple of nice deep passes in there. Obviously, the first game of the year, right? Shepard, he was wide open. Daniel hit him. I think Slayton had a nice one. He caught and he took it the distance. But for the most part, we didn't have a lot of big plays last year, and it's really, really tough. How do you feel about home opener with the Cowgirls? Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think it's over 30 minutes here, so I'll cover that again. The NFC. There's an article here. The NFC East, the grades. I think the Giants closed the gap quite a bit against the Cowgirls. Quite a bit. I'm not overly excited about their off season. They lost Schultz. They brought in Schoonmaker. Their first round pick. Okay. They brought in. They got Cooks, who didn't have. Then again, he was with Houston last year. Houston didn't have a phenomenal season. But I think Cooks, if I'm not mistaken, that was his worst, one of his worst seasons he had. Where the hell is he? I got like 352,000 tabs open here. I got to try to find him. Oh, here he is. Last year he had 699 yards. Let's see. He's only had in his career, he's only had three years in his career where he was under 1,000 yards. Okay. Now he'll be 30 years old this year. Okay. This will be his 10th season in the league, so he's not a spring chicken. I said he only had 57 receptions last year, but then again, Houston was not that phenomenal last year. Only had 3 touchdowns. He's a decent receiver, but I'm not somebody that's really going to scare the crap out of you. And then they got Stephon Gilmore, right? But he's going to be 33 years old. So they're talking about getting all. I'm not. And they let go of was it Kellen Moore? I believe it was. That's his name. Their offensive coordinator. McCarthy's going to call plays. I'm not a huge McCarthy fan, just to be honest with you. When he did good with the Packers, well, let me see. They had Brett Favre. He was pretty good. And then he had some guy, Aaron Rodgers, right? Yeah, I guess you'd be pretty good with those two guys, right? I'm not overly thrilled about his coaching. They lost some guys. I'm not, I'm not overly thrilled about what the Cowboys did. I think of anything, I think obviously the Eagles are still obviously the cream of the crop. I don't think the Eagles really got any better, shall we say. I think if anything, maybe they stayed the same, because they lost a lot of guys. They brought some guys in, but they lost a lot of guys. All right. So if anything, they stayed the same. All right. I definitely think the Giants got better without question. And I'm going to say, I think the Cowboys, if anything, pretty much stayed the same. I don't, I don't see them really, and I said this article here, I'll go over this article to probably maybe tomorrow then. But I said the Commanders, man, I don't, they need a quarterback. I mean, they need a quarterback. But I definitely think that the Giants, if the Giants, play like they can, I certainly see us beating the Cowgirls in the first. Yeah, the coaching suspect. I mean, I like our coaching without question. Without question, I'll take our coaching. Honestly, I'll take our coaching over any coaching staff in this division. The Eagles did good last year, not because of their coaching. Their offensive line coach is phenomenal. I can't remember the guy's name. I'm just so stupid, but he's good, really good. I'll take it. I'll take him over anybody. Okay, even Bobby Johnson, who we got, I'll take him over any. But I mean, overall, our defensive coordinator, our head coach, and our offensive coordinator, and our defensive backs coach, we got some really good coaches. I think we got the best coaching staff in the division. The Eagles went to the Super Bowl not because of the coaching staff, it was because they basically Howie Roseman went out there and basically bought the best team he could buy. And without question, last year, from head to toe, offense, defense, all that stuff, the Eagles, without question, to me, best team in the NFL, without question. They got lucky because they were very healthy throughout the year. So they didn't have. See, the one thing is when you got all these stars, these studs, DeVonta Smith and AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts and their offensive line got 2 Hall of Famers on it, and all that stuff. Well, that's great, but if the injury bug starts biting you, okay, which it didn't really for the Eagles last year, okay, and you got to start bringing in your backups. Well, now you might have yourself a problem because you're paying $85 trillion for each one of your stars, okay. So it doesn't leave a lot of money for your backups, okay. So if they were to start getting injury bug and they got to start bringing some of their backups in, the Eagles could be in some trouble, right? As I said, but without question, I'll take our coaching staff over them. Any team in his division. First game. But anyhow, let's say first game, coaching is suspect. Our culture is on fire. Oh yeah. Well, that's why I was kind of with our culture. I was kind of with that Saquon. That they're talking about the agent, the ex-agent was talking about. It was kind of odd how they pulled the offer off the table after Saquon kind of said no, he signed a franchise tag. I mean, he said it was a little suspect. But you're always walking a fine line with that culture. I can understand, okay. But when you're talking somebody like Saquon or something like that, I mean, you can't. The culture's going good. Culture's going good, okay. But if you want to keep the locker room happy and joy and all that and everything, don't disrespect Saquon. I mean, if you put $14 million back out there again, if he doesn't take it, well, okay, right? It is what it is. You can't make the guy sign if you don't want to sign. But in this article they talk, I even hear some other articles I was reading, like they might offer Saquon maybe 3 years for $30 million or something now or something. Man, that would be a huge mistake. As I said, what you're saying, our culture is we got it going, but man, you get 1 or 2 slaps in the face. You disrespect Saquon, you're disrespecting a lot of guys in that locker room, and that could. It's a business, I understand, but you want to keep Saquon happy if you can. I hope so. I mean, but it was he was kind of talking about how it's a little weird how usually what you do is you have this the offer on the table, and if he says that they don't take it, okay, well, all right, well, it's on the table, that's there. If you change your mind, it's still there. But apparently they pulled it away. So interesting to say, but that's another one of those things. I keep hearing Saquon wants $16 million. Saquon doesn't want $16 million. The Giants offered him $13 million. The Giants offered him almost $14 million with incentives. So you never know exactly. And I don't know if you'll ever find out exactly what the offers were. What Saquon said. You're never gonna know. It's a lot of it's hearsay. But hopefully we get something done. I said if because you want Saquon to be here, but also to maybe get his cap hit from 10 million, drop it down a little bit, save us a little bit more money. Then we can go after people like JPP or something like that. Because JPP is probably not going to take $1 million. You might have to offer him maybe $1.5 million or maybe $2 million, somewhere around there. But, I'd love to see him back, man. That'd be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. I mean, have him end his career, sign him for a year or two or something. Because, he's not going to be around much longer. He's played for a long time. So, but that would be fantastic. And we could use another edge rusher, $2 million. That would be good. Yeah. But see, the thing is, I'm saying right now with Spot Track, we got about like 5. If you go to Spot Track, they say we got 5 or 6. You go to Overcap, they say we have 4 or 5. I don't know. I always go to Spot Track because I can look at the numbers and all and figure it out easier. That's where I go. But if you go there, we have about like 5 million, 5-6 million or so, right? But so you figure, John Michael Schmidt's got to sign his contract. Deonte Banks is going to sign his contract. Deonte's he's like over 2.5 or something. He'll cost. All right, so that's going to knock into the salary cap. You bring in JPP, that's going to knock into the salary cap. That's not going to leave you a whole lot of money left over. Right? But if we can get Saquon signed, that would be good. Now we still have. Well, that's weird. Like right now, it's okay. It's May 17th. We have until July 17th to get a deal done with Saquon. So by July 17th, if they don't have a long-term deal done or whatever, it's franchise tag or no tag, or So we got 2 months. We got like 60 days left to get Saquon signed, which obviously is a ton of time, especially because this is pretty much the only guy that we're we have Michael Schmitz and we got Deonte Banks, but their contracts are basically, what they're supposed to make per year. I guess there might be a little the signing bonus and stuff like that, but nothing huge, So that stuff should be just a matter of time. But we only got basically one guy. We had Daniel Jones, Sexy Dexy, and Saquon. So we got Daniel Jones and Sexy Dexy out of the way. Now hopefully we got 2 months left to get something done with Saquon. Let's hope we get something done. All right, guys. Well, it's been 42 minutes. Hey, Vinny G-Man, Terrence, I seen you there. Armani, good talking to you guys. Good talking to you. I'll be back again tomorrow night. Thank you, guys. You guys absolutely freaking rock. So whoever spent any time watching me right now tonight, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. As always, Vinny G-Man, Ronnie, Terrence, thank you. Or whoever spends any time watching the replay this. Once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me, guys. Thank you. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.